This is a very busy show, so we have 5 minutes each, and that for me means I have time for one bit. If I'm fast, so we gotta work quick. I don't know if it's a funny bit, but if it's not, at least you learned something about the South Pole. So there's that. Okay, so here's the story, right? About a year ago, I went to see an old silent documentary. It was made in the 1920s. It was called The Great White Silence, right? I went to see that in Dundee, where I live, and it's about this guy here, Robert Scott is his name. And it's his quest, essentially, to be the first team at the South Pole, right? He wants to beat the Norwegians and be the first person to set foot there. And before they started the film, what they did was a guy came up, it wasn't the director or anything, he was like 60 in 1930, so it would be some get to have him, I think. But it wasn't him. It was just some usher. He comes on stage and he says, right, I want you to think about it before you watch this film. You want to just think about, okay, we're showing the film right now. Just want you to think before you watch this film about the kind of training they had to go through to deal with the loneliness and the isolation at the South Pole. And then they show the movie. There's like 50 of them. Even at the South Pole there was 5. I don't have 5 friends. Well, they know that, I don't. So then they start showing this movie. And for about the first 40 minutes I'm really engrossed in this movie. You know, they're showing all kinds of amazing things. They're showing these giant icebergs that are going past with these horrible sounding names. There's just this black smoke coming up from the water for some reason, and there's just volcanoes exploding at the South Pole. And they're showing you footage of the guy, like in this literal hell. He's trying to record from the ship. He has his camera on a little plank, and he's just recording the ship going through this ice. It's just plowing through the ice. Like, that was their plan. That was their one plan, was we'll drive directly through the ice, and if we get stuck, which we will constantly, well, I guess we won't go to the South Pole. Imagine if you did that on your way to work. You were just like, I will drive to work in a perfectly straight line. And if anything gets in the way, well, it's coming to work. And then they get to the animals. They start showing all the different animals that there are, that they've brought to the South Pole. They show the horses, who are miserable. The horses are so miserable. They haven't even got them a jacket or anything, because they're purely disposable horses. All of them. They're one-use horses. And they know it. You can see it in their crazy eyes. And then they show the dogs, who are like surprisingly happy, but they're dumb. What do they know? It's like, oh, they'll warm up, throw the ball, come on. And then they get to the cat. The ship has one cat, and it's a black cat. And it's a silent film, remember, so it comes up in big letters on the screen, introducing the ship's cat. And then there's this word. And I'm not going to say what the word is, so I'm not allowed. But I think we all know. So I'm not going to say it, I'm just going to go like this, and I'm going to go, Nyah! And that'll be my voice of 1920s racism. Just from an alley with a top hat. Nyah! Introducing the ship's cat. Nyah! Dead silence in the otherwise laughing audience, dead silent. I think that's the Great White Silence that the title alludes to. The entire audience going, oh, why did you remind us we're terrible? Why did you have to go and do that? And then the film just moves on. It's like, we'd like to welcome more horses, Chris and Bandit. Who's naming these animals? They have normal names. Just keeps going. And everyone's laughing at the penguins, and I'm just sat there, did you have to keep the cat in? What did the cat add? That's all I remember about the South Pole now. I don't even remember this. I don't know the name of any of the guys who went to the South Pole. I have to look at this every time, so I don't say Walter. Cat didn't go to the South Pole. It's not a famous car or anything. And it's not like it's a forgettable film, you know, because, you know, the Norwegians, they won, they beat them, and then they show the graves. Like the last scene is just him offering his notebook up to the heavens, you know. He's offering his notebook and it says, "Had we lived, I would have told the tale to stir the heart of every Englishman. These notes and our dead bodies must now tell that tale." And I'm like, yeah, cute. Anyway, can we talk about the cat again, please? What's it doing? I'm there at the end of the film trying to work it out, and the usher comes up and he's like, "You know there's no more film, you can go home." And I'm like, yes, I do know. You think I'm just hanging around for 1920s racist Easter eggs? One more slur, please! In the post-credit sequence of the 1920s document. Maybe there's a blooper ending where they all survive by mistake. I look forward to it. It just made me think, you know, wow, English people. Even at the South Pole, the whitest place you can imagine. We'll find a way. That's my time.